Hi all and welcome back to HyperShadeTutorials. In the last episode we went over the back button and the up and down arrows, so let's quickly recap with that. So if I run the game right now and click on customize menu, let me just load the background down, sorry. Right, if I click on barrel attachment, you can see the up and down arrow show, and currently we can't see the back arrow because we don't tell it to turn the boolean on. So if I turn the boolean on myself, you'll see it, and if I hit it, it should say you hit back. If I hit the up arrow, it should say item 1, then 2, then 3, then down 1, down 2, down 3. So that's what we covered last time. Today we're going to be doing the boxes for the weapon sight and customized skin, and also we're going to be enabling the back button. So let's stop the game and let's open our script. Let's scroll all the way down. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look for the barrel attachment button, and then once we've done that, oops, the wrong script. Don't need to see that as well. Okay, there you go. Right, this is the right script. Okay, so we're going to look for the barrel attachment button. So that's going to be, oh, okay. Show back button. Okay, that's what it's called. Custom barrel attachment button right here. This is the one. Underneath here, we're going to say show barrel button equals true. Alright, we're going to save and we're going to go back and test this. Nothing big, it's just showing the back button. Alright, so if I run the game now, and if I hit customize menu, sorry, barrel attachment, not customize menu. Okay, still not showing it. And it didn't enable it, so something's wrong. Oh, I know why. I feel kind of stupid right now. Bear with me. It's not called show barrel button, it's called show back button. If I was paying attention, I would have spotted that. Right. Okay, updated. Let's run the game. Customize menu, barrel attachment. There we go, perfect. And it fades in with the actual GUI, so that's good. So if I hit back, yeah, it shows that. Good. Okay. Next step is to actually hide these once we hit back. We don't want to see them again. So in order to do that, we're going to go to our update right here. And then what I'm going to say is if open bracket, close bracket, open curly brace, closing curly brace, and once show back button equals false, we want something to happen. And I don't remember what I call it. Show back button. Now we go. Back button timer. I think it was that. Minus equals time dot delta time. Smooth delta time. And then underneath here, I'm going to say back timer equals mathf dot clamp, open bracket, back timer, comma, 0 minimum, 1 maximum, and closing bracket and closing semicolon. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to make a next if statement. We're going to say if, open bracket, barrel attachment on equals false, close bracket, open curly brace and closing curly brace, and inside here all we're going to say is, let me just customize, oops, if I can type today, box timer minus equals time dot smooth delta time, and then I'm going to say customize box timer equals maxf dot clamp open bracket customize box timer minimum 0, maximum 1, and closing semicolon. Then we're going to make another if statement. We're going to say if open bracket close bracket open curly brace closing curly brace. Actually, we don't need this one right now, so let's just remove this. Okay, and let's go to the very bottom. Just want to make sure that's closing on GUI. That's correct. We're going to make a new function. We're going to call this function wait till fade, and it's going to be open bracket close bracket open curly brace and closing curly brace. Save. Okay, inside here, oops, let me just zoom in the code a bit more. We're going to say yield wait 4 seconds open bracket closing semicolon 0.1, and then after that amount of seconds I'm going to say show back button equals false. Then I'm going to say barrel attachment on equals false. Save. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to make another function, and we're going to call this function add barrel animation open bracket close bracket open curly brace and closing curly brace. And inside here I'm going to say current object dot animation dot crossfade open bracket close bracket and closing semicolon, and then I'll put 2 speech marks, and I'm going to say my animation name, which is add stuff. Okay, and then I'm going to put a comma, and then I'm going to put the value 0.3. Now let me quickly explain this to you. What crossfade does is it slowly fades your animation into its final frame rather than just immediately playing the animation. So for example, if you have an idle animation and let's say the idle animation is playing, if you had other animation, so for example if you press up or W and you play the walk animation, if you just use play, it's going to instantly switch to that animation, whereas crossfade will slowly blend into the new animation state, so it looks a bit more natural rather than a bit fake. Okay, once we've done this, I'm just going to say underneath here current animation state equals 2 speech marks, and I'm going to say adding items, sorry, and closing semicolon. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our barrel attachment button, which is this one over here, and I'm going to call that function we just made, and it was called add barrel animation open bracket closing semicolon, and save. Now let's go to our back button. We need to add some things to this because it's currently unfinished. So first of all, I'm going to leave a space up here, and then over here I'm going to say GUI dot color dot A equals back timer. If we don't add this, it's not going to fade out when we tell it to fade out because it doesn't have a alpha property. So we just added that on the safe side. And inside here, I'm going to add a couple of things. Okay, Sorry, actually I placed it in the wrong place. Copy it. And paste that there. Okay. Now we're going to say, if we hit this button, I want current animation state to be equals to doing nothing. Now when this is happening, I want the idle animation to play, so it's going to switch back to its idle animation, and I'm just going to call that, so I'm going to say current object dot animation dot crossfade, open bracket, 2 speech marks, comma, the value, and I'm going to add 1. I want to take 1 second to crossfade back into idle animation, and my idle animation is called idle. Save. Once we've done that, we're going to call wait till fade, so it fades the buttons out, and open bracket, close bracket, and closing semicolon. Now what this function does is basically it looks for these 2 booleans and it turns them to false. So show back button becomes false and barrel attachment on becomes false, which is this one over here. Now once that happens, if we go to our update function and if we look at lines 160 and lines 153, we said if that's true, we want the timers to decrease and go back to 0, and same with barrel attachment. So let's test this out. Hopefully we have no errors, fingers crossed. Perfect, good. So let's run the game. And now what should happen is basically when we click on barrel attachment, the gun is going to go into its adding animation state. So let's see if that works. Perfect. And oh, the back button didn't show some reason. And it's turned on. Let me just see that again. Hold on. Okay, click on this. Right, can't seem to see the back button anymore. How odd. Let's find out what happened there. Oh, I know why. Let's go back into our script. And as you currently can see, we have show back button false. We don't have one that says true, so it's not increasing its alpha value. So I'm going to say if open bracket show back button equals true. I can't actually believe I left this out. And then I'm going to say back timer plus equals time dot smooth delta time, and then back timer equals mathf dot clamp open bracket back timer comma minimum 0 maximum 1 closing bracket and closing semicolon. Now it should show the back button. That was my fault, sorry guys, because it wasn't incrementing the back timer, it was staying at 0. Right, so if I click on back, customize menu, barrel attachment, perfect. Everything fades in, all the timers went up as well. So what if I hit back now? What happens? Perfect. It fades out, and well, it doesn't fade out, it goes off, and the animation goes back into idle. Now if I hit barrel attachment, it comes back and they fade in. Now if I didn't add these lines here, what will happen is, actually I'm going to delete them and show you. So if I save this now and if I run the game, okay, I want you to notice how these values will always remain 1. So if I click barrel attachment, it increased the values, but when I click back, it goes off, but these values remain as 1. So when I click on barrel attachment, it's no longer going to fade in, it's instantly going to pop there like that, and we don't want that. So that's the reason you have to add these couple of lines. Oops, undo. Okay. Our next step is to actually change the camera position. So what I want to do now is, when I click on barrel attachment, and when I click on item 1 up arrow, I want my camera to go in front of the barrel so we can see our silences. And then if we click on this one, I want it to go underneath where the light is. And then when we click on this one, I want it to go where the laser sight is. Okay, so we can do that next. So we're going to go down, we're going to make a new function. Okay, I'm going to call this function cam barrel view, open bracket, close bracket, open curly brace, and closing curly brace. I'm going to make a next function, and I'm going to call this function cam return view, open bracket, close bracket, open curly brace, and closing curly brace. So in the first one, we're going to say for, we're going to make a temporary variable, and I'm going to call this new pos barrel, like so. And then I'm going to say equals to new cam position, which we made already above. And underneath it, I'm going to say current cam, I think I call it, yeah, dot transform dot local position equals vector3 dot slurp, open bracket, current cam dot transform dot local position, comma, the position it's meant to go to now, which is new barrel position. Before I do continue, this variable here we defined above, so if I quickly show you, sorry, not this one right here, forget that for now. So if I quickly show you this one, these values are empty. So once we go into Unity, we're going to define these ourselves over here. And I've done mine somehow magically, so I'm going to leave it there, because obviously you can see how it's supposed to look then. So just keep in mind that these values are not set yet, so we're going to set them when we go into Unity. Okay, so let's go back down. So this is holding our values, and then it needs a smooth timer to go to its current destination. So I'm going to say time dot delta time times cam smooth, which we defined above, and that's that done. Now we need a cam return. So once we've hit back, we want our camera to go back into its normal view. So current cam dot transform dot local position equals vector3 dot slurp, sorry, open bracket, current cam dot transform dot local position, comma, I think I called it cam original view, I think, yeah, cam org view, and comma time dot delta time times cam smooth. Okay, that's those two functions done. So first of all, I'm going to call this one in our back button, so underneath here. So cam return view, open bracket, close bracket, closing semicolon. Okay, so let's go to our first up arrow, which is this one here. I'm just going to leave the debug in there for now. And I'm going to say as soon as we hit this, I want to call that function we just made, which is barrel Nope, it's not called barrel. No, it was barrel view cam. No, what did I call it? I lost my function name. Cam barrel view, there we go. There we go. Open bracket, close bracket, and closing semicolon. So let's go into Unity and let's test that out. Let it just update. Okay, seems to be fine. I've set my positions already. My new cam positions are X is minus 0.2, Y is minus 0.2, Z is 0.27. Alright, so let's run the game. Let's click on barrel attachment. We go into our animation state. Okay. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to go into the position as soon as we hit this. Okay, and the same with the back button. Of course, that's my mistake. I'm absolutely sorry about this. Let's remove this. We had a variable, a boolean, sorry, and it was called show cam, I think. Let me quickly find that one. Nope, it wasn't. I have to go back up and find out what it was called. Where's the booleans? There we go. Barrel view cam. That's a boolean we need to use in order to view the new camera position. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So let's go back into our back button and let's add this. And I'm going to say barrel view cam equals false. Perfect. Then I'm going to go back to our up button, which is this one, and then I'm going to say barrel view cam equals true. Okay, so let's save this. Now the only problem is we've done that, but we now need to go into our update function, make two if statements, like so, and in the first one I'm going to say barrel view cam equals true, then I want something to happen. Then if barrel view cam equals false, I want something to happen. So in the first one I'm going to say if it's true, call cam barrel view, so go to our new camera position. If it becomes false when we click back, go back to our original position, which is held in cam return view. Okay, open bracket, close bracket, and closing semicolon. Now this should work perfectly. And I've set my cam smooth time to 3.2, which works perfectly for me. It's entirely up to you what you want to set, so you can do so. So let's run our game. Hit customize menu, barrel attachment, goes into our animation state, perfect. It also changes the animation state name, as you can see. It says current animation state equals adding items. Now if I hit up, it should take our camera and take it directly in front of the barrel. So hit, perfect. And if I want to go back, I hit back, it goes back and the animation fades in and it looks perfect. Fantastic. So now let's do the camera position for the laser sight. So let's go back into our script and I'm going to call this function cam barrel view laser. so I know which part this is for. Then open bracket, open curly brace, and closing curly brace. Okay, and then I'm going to say for laser view cam position, it's going to be equals to, we need to make two new variables, so let's go to the very top. Over here we're going to say for new laser pos, it's going to be a vector 3, and the next one's going to be a new